everyone. Just wanted to do an introductory video here on the channel, just kind of introducing myself and kind of what the channel is intended to be about, although that is subject to change. My name is Colby, 29 years old, live in Oregon, just kind of a general weekend mechanic or home mechanic, just tinkering on my own stuff. My day job currently to pay for all these projects is appliances, sales, service, installation, everything. Anything household appliance related. So anyway, enough with me. The channel's purpose, just kind of showing what I do on an everyday weekend just to kind of maintain and get some of my projects on the road. I kind of have a weak spot for like $1,000, $1,500 cars that are in rough or supposedly rough condition and getting them back on the road. Probably the first one I'm gonna feature on the channel is gonna be my little C3 Corvette that I bought just about a year ago. I also have a 1955 Chevy big window pickup that I tinker with that'll make appearances on the channel. I have a 78 CB750 little cafe racer that I tinker with. That'll definitely be on the channel. A couple other ones that will probably show up a little later down the timeline. I have a 92 first gen Cummins that's kind of borderline frame off restoration. And also kind of the oddball of the group is a 1999 Volvo V70R wagon, which I'll get more into that one on another video. But I guess I'll kind of start this initial video kind of showing what the different projects are and kind of what I'll be working on over here. So I think I'm going to start with showing you the Corvette, given that it's in my little garage here, and it's going to be the easiest one to show you first. All right, so this is my 1981 C3 Corvette. Just picked this thing up last summer. Basically, this is a bought sight unseen car. I don't do that a lot. I usually like to go give things a thorough inspection, but this was kind of a unique situation. Had a family friend pass away a couple years ago. He had a whole collection of cars that was inherited by kids and grandkids and whatnot, and this was one of the cars that they were willing to let go of. And once I was told the price they were asking, I had to jump on it. A, just because the price was killer, and B, I knew the gentleman that used to own this car. I had a lot of respect for him, so to have one of his vehicles in my little, I don't know if I'd call it collection, but little corral here was pretty meaningful to me. So it's also the car that made me have the idea of starting this YouTube channel, although I can't really take credit for that because everywhere I posted the car along with what I paid for it, all the comments would be, you need to start a YouTube series on that car. So I'm taking that advice. So without any further ado, kind of the backstory on it, I was told that they wanted $1,000 for this car, and I saw one picture of it, and it was half covered by a car cover. And I knew I had to jump on it at that moment or it'd be gone, so I said, I'll take it. I didn't even know if it had interior in it. I didn't know what the engine condition was. I knew nothing other than that one picture. So I paid the gal for the car. Had a tow truck driver buddy of mine meet me at the property where I got my first real look at it, and I realized that for once, the hot rod gods were smiling on me, because I have lost my butt on more than a few on more than a few cars. So, as I was inspecting the car, one of the first things that caught my eye that really, really excited me was the fact that it was a 4-speed car. For the price point of the car, I just automatically assumed it was an automatic. But, to my surprise, we have a nice 4-speed car, AC car. It's got some nice little options. Like I say, for the price point, I just couldn't go wrong. Then when I was looking a little bit deeper at the car, I noticed the paint was in really, really good condition. Now I can kind of see that in the picture, but you know how deceiving pictures can be. So I had no idea. It looked like it was maybe a good Survivor that could be buffed out and it'd be fine. Come to find out, the reason this car was in a shop with a car cover on it was it got painted, brand new paint job, high quality paint job, about 10, 12 years ago or so. Got like 75% put back together. And then other projects took priority, and this thing just kind of got forgotten about in the corner. So for $1,000, I got a very clean, freshly painted 4-speed Corvette. Like I say, I've lost my butt on a lot of vehicles over the years. This is one, even though I have no intentions of ever selling it, this is by far the best financial decision on a vehicle that I think I've ever made. That being said, there was some definite issues with it from sitting for so long. Nothing major, just the typical stuff you would think of. Had to put a mini starter in it basically right away. Starter was dead. Found it actually runs pretty decent. I haven't even drained the fuel out of the gas tank. I just made a little temporary fuel can gas tank to get it fired up and see how it ran. So I still need to drain all the old 10, 15-year-old varnished fuel out of it. I replaced pretty much all the ignition components in the car. And as well as I kind of jumped the gun and put new tires on it because it had completely dry rotted little 235 tires on it. It looked like garbage. I mean, the tires were just way too small for the car. B, the front tires would not hold air, which, if you know how low a Corvette is, getting a non-running Corvette onto a flatbed tow truck with flat tires, that should have been a YouTube video in itself. So I wanted to get tires on the car just so I could roll it around easy. And besides, I wanted to get a good visual of what it would look like with full-size tires on it. So went from the 235s on the rear. If I remember correctly, I believe these are 275 Cooper Cobras. Obviously, being a Corvette, we have to have the white letters out. And yes, these are a 275 60 15. On a C3 Corvette, per the research I did, that is as big of a tire as you can get on the rear of these without doing an offset trailing arm, which maybe down the road will do. But for right now, I just wanted it roadworthy, and a 275, I mean, the little 190 horsepower small block that comes in this thing, it'll have more than enough traction for now. On the front, went with a 255. Now, the nice thing about the 1980 to 1982 C3 Corvettes is the whole front clip is basically different. It extends further down in front. It's just a larger overall wheel opening, which allows for a 255 on the front, which I know Corvette's kind of a muscle car, but in my mind, it's more sports car, so the wider the better, in my opinion. So that's kind of where we're at with it right now. The first progression video that I will probably post of this, I do need to go through and do the brake system. Just for safety concerns, gonna do rotors, wheel bearings, pads. None of the calipers at the moment are leaking. Although these cars are notorious for that, at the moment, a full caliper kit for these things is rather expensive. I don't see any signs of issues at the moment. So I think we're just gonna stick with the factory calipers for now until they give me a reason to replace them. But as of now, no leaks. Another thing that will make an appearance in this video is the brand new mini starter that I put in the thing died after about 2 weeks. So it's under warranty. It's no big deal there, but these cars are low and they're not fun to work on underneath, especially on a starter in a less than huge garage. So I've kind of been dragging my feet on that because I know it's going to be a bear. But starter is going to have to go in it. All new brakes, on all four corners. I also have a gnarly little exhaust leak to chase down, but that's fairly low on the priority list. Main goal for this thing this summer is get it safe and on the road. Few cosmetic things I'm gonna do. When they painted it, they didn't tape off the frame very well, so there's a lot of overspray on the frame that I'm gonna need to sand down and paint probably matte black, because once I get the rocker panel covers on it, you do still see about the bottom inch or so, basically where that shadow line's at, will be visible beyond the rocker panel cover. So I need to sand that, make it black, or that's just going to look like absolute garbage. But overall, for a $1,000 car, I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Interior is in absolutely amazing condition. The car is stinking filthy right now, so I did clean just the passenger seat so you can get a better visual. It is a good condition interior. There's a couple components on the door panels that are broken. I'm gonna try to fix those. Otherwise, I probably will just order a set of door panels. But for these cars, that's not a huge expense. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right, on to the next project. So, next project here that'll be making appearances on the channel is my little 1978 CB750. Little cafe racer I've been tinkering on for a few years now. It was 4-into-1 exhaust. Really nothing crazy. It's just a bare bones, kind of stripped down CB750. One thing I do need to do, one major issue with this bike, I know I said earlier that I don't buy sight unseen very often. This is another one that I did. And overall, I was very happy with my purchase, but there was one major issue that was undisclosed that kind of bummed me out. At some point in this bike's life, somebody lost a chain, and it did crack the case. So right back here, you probably can't see it very well at all, but there is a crack right on the front side of that chain. I'm kind of undecided on what to do with this thing. It's a very low budget project, so while the correct thing to do would be to yank the engine out and probably have it TIG welded, it's just a bike I ride once or twice a year. I'm probably just going to pop the chain off, pop the sprocket off, and give her a little JB Weld job just to keep it from leaking oil. It's a non-pressurized area. It'll work good enough for me. If I ever go to sell the bike, I may have it TIG welded just so somebody else doesn't get a bike that's got JB Weld. But honestly, I did a completely new wiring harness in the bike because the factory harness just had all sorts of weird shorts and crossover issues, and it was just, I didn't feel like dealing with it. For like $140, I could buy a brand new wire harness, so that's what I did. I did have all 4 carburetors rebuilt, synced, and tuned by a local mechanic. At 4 carburetors is just a little more than I feel comfortable with getting dialed in properly, and I'm glad I paid the money to have a local guy do it. Norfleet Motorsports. For a 45-year-old bike with 4 carburetors, this thing fires up like it's fuel injected. I would fire it up right now, but unfortunately the battery's dead, and I don't know where any of my trickle chargers ran off to. So, I will eventually get a video of that thing running. It runs like a dang top. Now this next project that I'm going to show you, a little bit of a sore subject with me, for a few reasons. The first reason, this project started about 5, 6, God, maybe even 7 years ago, and it was intended to be a 12-month build. And we'll see how that's going. This is my 1992 first-gen Cummins. I have done quite a bit of work to this thing, but unfortunately there's a few issues that have made me put it on pause. So obviously I had the thing painted. This is not a factory Dodge color. This is actually a Ford It used to be called Magnetic. I think the color code is a J7, I believe. But very cool, very metallic gunmetal color. Now, on the front and rear axles, I did powder coat them, completely disassembled them, rebuilt them, and powder coated to match, with Illusion Blueberry being kind of the accent color here. Now, it's very dirty and filthy right now, but when this project was fresh, everything down here, I mean, you could eat off the dang thing. Got some custom tail lights and stuff. I do have King shocks on it all the way around. Stainless steel 4-inch straight pipe exhaust. Custom leaf springs that were built by a spring shop in Missouri that I forget the name of, and they were powder coated by Zach Pennick when he was still in Missouri, way before he moved to Texas. It became a huge deal. King shocks up front. Oil pan definitely needs to come out at some point so I can address that ugly thing. Crossover steering, Rough Stuff Specialties, diff covers, if I remember correctly. Up front, this is pretty cool. It's hard to get a good visual, but I do have a custom intercooler, radiator, AC condenser, and transmission cooler, fully aluminum with an aluminum shroud built by Icebox Performance. So that was pretty cool. Now, to the issues. On the paint, there's 2 or 3 areas that have some adhesion problems. The wiper valance and the front of the bed. Now, those are probably just, usually that's a sign of less than perfect prep. Now, the paint and body shop is honoring their work, and they're going to fix it and take care of it. It's just a matter of when, and we all know how paint gel works. So this thing is years and years over schedule, and it's probably going to stay that way for a while. But there she is. I also just wanted to give a little walk around of my little garage that I built here last spring. Originally, this was all wraparound patio, but you'll notice I bought a property that does not have a garage or a shop, so I had to make something. So last spring, I framed in this little garage area here just to have somewhere protected from the weather that I can kind of tinker on things. It is far from professional or perfect, but for what I need and the amount of money I had in the project, it's stinking perfect. Slowly getting a little man cave wall here going, but eventually this whole interior here will be finished off very nicely and be a pretty badass little man cave. And that there is my 55 big window that I will show you next. I'm only going to pull about half the car cover off because I am by myself and I don't scratch nothing. All right, and here is my baby. This is my 55 Chevy big window pickup. Unfortunately, she's kind of down for the count at the moment right now as well. We have some issues to deal with. This pickup was completed in 2001, and it's only got about 1,000 miles on it since then. However, it does have some time, and that time is starting to show. This summer, we were getting ready to leave for a car show, and I heard a clunk from the front end. Wasn't sure what it was, wasn't sure if it was just a weird articulation of the suspension pulling out of the driveway, or if there was actually an issue. Upon getting to the car show and pulling into the driveway, I heard the clunk even louder. Luckily, the car show was only about a mile from my house, so I decided just to come home and see what was going on. And I got underneath the front of the thing, and about every tie rod end had disintegrated, and if I gave it a good enough tug, every tie rod would pull out by hand and be laying on the ground. So she is definitely not safe to drive at the moment. It is just waiting on a time that I can get over to my buddy that has a 2-post lift, get it up in the air and see if I want to upgrade, just replace some components, or what I'm going to do there. It does have a Plymouth, old school Plymouth Valair or Valeri. I've never known what the correct pronunciation is. I've heard both. Front clip, front steering and suspension and whatnot, which is a pretty old school way of doing it. I would like to update that. However, when that front clip conversion is done, it does take away a lot of the factory frame. So a lot of the bolt-on rack and pinion kits will not work. So I got to kind of come up with a plan on what I want to do there. Most likely I will end up just replacing the components that are bad for now and upgrading at a later time. But this is it. Ford 9-inch, 4-link, 700R transmission. The engine, which I'm kind of embarrassed to say, is simply a 305 tune port injection small block. It fires up absolutely every time. It sounds pretty good, but it is definitely on the underpowered side of things. So, eventually we will address that, but there are other priorities that come first, such as getting it safe. Now, one other major issue that really upset me, and I'm still kind of mad about, and I don't even really want to show it, but I'm gonna. On my driver door, I have to have the whole door repainted. I've developed some cracks, one of which is my fault, the other one of which I'm a little nervous to see what's causing it. Now, this one here, that is my fault. I like to come out and start this pickup about once a month or so. When I was doing that one time, upon exiting the vehicle, I tripped over my big old feet and slammed the door open. And that is right where the hinge mounts to the door. So it just put a ton of pressure right there and it cracked it, unfortunately. Then, about a month later, I come out and I don't know if I'm going to get these on video very well, but you can see a length crack here that goes almost all the way to the back of the door. That's an issue. I didn't cause that one, and as I said, I'm kind of nervous to find out what did. But that will probably be addressed after summer, unfortunately, because I would like to just get the steering fixed and drive the dang thing as much as I can. So that is kind of a runaround of all the vehicles that at least I currently have on the property. I do have one more 1999 Volvo V70R turbo wagon. That car is currently getting the transmission rebuilt, and once that thing comes home, I will do kind of a whole walk around video and explanation of what that car is and kind of why it's even cool. But that kind of gives us the gist of everything here, and if you guys want to subscribe, awesome. If not, oh well. I'll see you on the next video.